Evening, everybody. This question is to Oliver Lake, a great friend of mine. I heard you was on your way to China. I hope I'm not out of place. Could you tell me a little bit? Heard you was on your way to China.
Yeah, I've been playing with a group called Trio 3. It was Reggie Workman, the bassist, and Andrew Surreal, drummer, and myself. We've been playing together for 20 years, and we're going to make our first trip to Taiwan in mid-October for about 4 days. And that's what I was mentioning to Joseph.
Sir, go ahead. You can stand up.
Good evening. My question would be to everyone on the panel. This has been extraordinary for me, and that bag is back together again in St. Louis. But I had an artist friend who I was raised up with, who was a mentee to Oliver Jackson. And we tried about 20 years ago to kind of recreate Bag and called it Bag 2. That artist is named John Roselle in Chicago. So my question is, I'm 60 years old, so I'm kind of like coming down. How possible would it be sometime in the near future to kind of get you guys back together, not to preach to the choir, because we all are the choir, but to young people in academia, because that's where I teach, so they can find out and learn about what you guys did back in the 60s. So that's my question, to find out how available. Let's say maybe 2 years. I don't know. I'll get with George Sams. I don't know who brought you guys here. I'd like to do this again. But for young people who are kind of lost in terms of what you guys did in St. Louis back in the 60s.
Larry, let me say
and I hang out with Shirley, LeFlore. I must say that, yeah.
Larry, let me say this. What is quite absent tonight is the young people or the people who have been influenced by Bag, who are not here. They have, one in Zimbabwe, in Kenya, a bass player. They came and talked to me about starting Bag, and I said, really, you can't start nothing over again. You can say an extension of Bag or something like that, but they seem to be honorably influenced by the Bag musicians. And I wanted to give them credit because Almeida here works at the, I'm talking about you cooking. I was just trying to call you Almeida for the night. But you work at the side job, and there's a whole audience of people that have been coming out. Young painters, they have nowhere to display a lot of times, so they come there. The admission is free. There's poets, there's musicians. We even have had dancer there. And I try to go and support them whenever I can. I explain to them, like I said, it can be Bag extension, but the premise and the foundation that Bag was built on just can't be redone that way. But I think 2 Bag members did come here and try to restart that. Vincent Terrell and Julie, and it would not be fair not to mention their name. They were very much a part of Bag. But you also can't go back. You can't go back to 1960.
How did it work
But
in the
these
60s,
people
Shirley?
do come together. They come out, but we need to invite.
Let me see if I can answer this. The question, I think he asked, how can we get you guys together to come back?
Everybody's up there now.
Get the money together.
That's bam. Just talking cookie about,
No,
about,
I'm really
about
serious.
that same thing.
You put together a package and you plan ahead of time and you get the money together. And we get a venue that makes some sense for, I'm telling you the concreteness of it now. You've got to get a venue that makes some sense for these people. You got to put us up, and we need to be put up reasonably. It's expensive to do this thing. if we have something to offer them to get us here, if everybody's working and gigging, you've got to get the logistics together so that we can all find and whatever the calendars are to come at that time. I'm talking about the concrete. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm asking.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've done that before, but not with.
But you know, people in St. Louis are going to have to raise that consciousness a little bit better, where they know that you can't get artists for free. I mean, you're talking about people up here who've been doing this. This is our living. And they've mastered their craft so that they can receive equity for what they're doing. They cannot just be free no more. That was like 30, 40 years ago.
So it was all free. How did BAG survive? How did you finance that whole project then? And where did the money come from?
But I just want to say just add a little bit to what they said, right? And we kind of segue into what you're saying. When I went to teach at the University of California, San Diego, where I was for 13 years, and I retired from there. I came from New York City there, and I used to run a festival in New York City called the Black Arts Festival. Eugene read there, Oliver read there, a lot of people read there. Toni Morrison, all kind of people. And for 25 years, we did this in New York City, and we had musicians and poets and novelists and all that. As a matter of fact, Toni Morrison read Bluiett for the first time at our festival, and we got her down for an hour reading Bluiett, taped it. So what I'm saying is we found the money for that. And we found the money in New York City, and we had to scrape and all that, and it was hard work. And it's a lot of hard work. And then when I moved to California, and I was teaching there, I said to this friend of mine, because it's only 99% white in La Jolla, California. 99% white. It was me and my wife and maybe a few other token black folks who were there. I didn't know it when I got there. I didn't know that. So when I got there, I looked around and I said, we got to do something here. So not just, but it couldn't be just all black. It had to be all kind of people. You see what I'm saying? So we found the money. It took a while to find the money, but I looked for it and I found it. I found it with these rich people, you know what I mean, who wanted to see. You know what they told me when I first came there? They said, oh, this is La Jolla. People go to the beach here. They don't want to see no culture. You know what I told them? I said, you know, Malcolm X said something that's very important. And he said, what? I said, time will tell. Time will tell if they will come. You know, my wife started a gallery, had a big show of Oliver there. Big show, right? He cursed out the white folks. No, but what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is it takes a lot of work and you have to do it. You have a community here where there's a lot of people with money in this community, black people too. And they got to contribute. I'm tired. You know what I'm tired? Wait. You know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of black folks not dealing with philanthropy, where they don't get no money. I'm sick of that shit. I'm just sick of it. They think that white people got to do it. No, it's a lot of rich black people in this community, you know, and they got to get the money. We just did it. Listen, we just put this thing together in Harlem at Schomburg. They bought my papers. They bought my papers at the Schomburg. I went up there and talked to Dr. Howard Dotson. I talked to Howard Dotson. I said, why don't you get no literary series up here? He said, what? I said, well, there's nobody getting no money. I said, well, let's go get the money. Let's get the money and put it in here and do it every year. So you know what? Starting October 23rd with Danny Glover and Randy Weston and then all kind of writers, we're going to have for 9 months all these writers because we went and got the money from these Negroes. We hijacked them. We said, y'all gonna give us this money. You're gonna do this. I'm tired of asking white people for money. I don't mind taking their money. I will take their money, but black people gotta give money. If you think it's important, and it is important, you gotta give up off the money. And black people gotta buy art and books. Black men gotta buy art and books. A lot of black women buy all the books. I'm just telling you, because I've done research on this shit. I ran a magazine called Code. I started it, Code magazine. I was the editor-in-chief. I started that. Larry Flint gave us the money. Didn't know black people give us the money. They were like, well, you know, we don't know if this is going to be, where it's going to be, or it's going to be important, and you know, they had all kind of stuff. You just shut up. You know, get out the way. If you ain't gonna, so that's what I'm saying. It's got to be money. It's got to be black money. It's got to be people who understand. In other words, and I'm gonna shut up because I visit here once in a while. My mother's here, and I come to see all my friends. People got to be educated about what they have to do when they got money. You know, you got Negroes, black guys making $600 million, and they got art on their wall. I've seen it. Black velvet art. With women, you know, and all kind of, you know, scantily clad, terrible art on their wall in Hollywood.
Go ahead, you're getting close to my shit
No.
now.
I mean, I'm serious, you know. They don't do nothing. They don't have it, you know, and it's what I'm saying. So they got to be educated. We have to be educated about it, what it is that has to happen. We do. We have to do that.
For the musicians here, let us hear from you on how you create and what goes into whichever one of you wants to respond in terms of creating music and defining the artist.
How do we create?
Yes.
Well, this is a black artist group reunion of sorts, and the black artist group was my school. That was where I accompanied the poets, and that inspired me to want to write poetry. It was where I saw visual art, and it was where I was accompanying, writing music for big band, writing music for small groups, writing music for dancers. So this black artist group was my school, and when I moved to New York, I continued to do what I learned in the black artist group. And I mean, in a nutshell, that's it for me. I mean, how I create. The creation was being a part of the black artist group and learning and growing from that experience that I had here those 4 or 5 years when the group was organized.
Hamiet? Siddik? No comment? Okay. Any other questions from our